Hey everyone, and welcome to this deep dive. We're going to get you totally prepped for that big furniture designer interview. You're going to crush it with the help of some awesome resources we've got from RoleCatcher, like career guides and interview guides packed with insider info.
It's going to be like having a cheat sheet for impressing those hiring managers.
Exactly. So let's jump right in. This field is seriously cool because
Yeah.
it's not just about making pretty furniture.
Right. It's like you're blending artistry with a deep understanding of how things actually work, the materials, the whole process. It's like a sculptor and an engineer all in one.
I like that. And RoleCatcher's career guide really makes that clear. It's not just sketching pretty chairs. It's about understanding why every curve and joint is there.
Yeah. You're a
Yeah.
craftsman and a designer and thinking about those practical aspects like who's using it? How are they using it? What's it made of? That's what separates good design from great design.
And speaking of great dads, the guide lays out some pretty awesome hooks. Creative freedom, working with a variety of cool materials, and even the potential for a really nice income.
Not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. But it's also realistic.
Yeah.
The guide acknowledges that it's a competitive field and you've got to constantly innovate. And sometimes those long hours come with the territory.
That's true. You really need a clear-eyed view going in.
Absolutely. So speaking of going in prepared,
Yeah.
that's where RoleCatcher's AI can help.
This thing is amazing.
Right. It analyzes job descriptions and points out the exact skills you need to emphasize in your interview.
It's like having a personal coach who's saying, hey, they really want someone strong in 3D modeling, so talk about that project you did.
And it gives feedback on your answers too.
Yep. It's like a mock interview, but with a super smart AI instead of like a nervous friend.
That's so cool. And on top of that, there's the Get Discovered features, like your own personal headhunter.
Exactly.
Employers can find you based on your skills if you opt in.
Proactive networking to the next level.
Okay, I'm sold on RoleCatcher.
Yeah.
But now let's get to those interview questions. The guide has actual examples, which is so much better than just guessing what they'll ask.
For sure. Let's start with a classic. Tell us about your design education.
Okay, seems simple enough.
It is, but there's an art to answering this one well.
It's got to be more than just listing the schools you went to, right?
Got it. This is where you show passion, what courses really inspired you, what projects pushed you creatively. Did a specific internship give you invaluable experience? Don't just tell them you went to design school. Show them how that experience shaped you as a designer.
Right. So if you took an amazing wood bending workshop, mention that. Or if a project made you completely rethink your design philosophy, that's a story worth telling.
Exactly. Highlight those unique experiences that make you stand out and think about the skills in the job description. They might emphasize sustainability or user-centered design, so tailor your answer to show those aspects of your education.
That makes sense.
Uh,
Okay, so core 2 is, how do you approach a new furniture design project? This feels kind of intimidating. Where do you even begin?
This is all about showcasing your process. How do you go from nothing to a beautiful and functional piece? The guide talks about research, understanding client needs, generating ideas, sketching, prototyping, and incorporating feedback.
So it's like a roadmap from initial concept to finished product.
Yeah.
And you can personalize it, right? Like, do you use mood boards?
Yeah,
Or are you all about 3D modeling software? Show them your style.
exactly. It's a glimpse into your design DNA. The interviewer wants to see a structured approach, thoughtfulness, and the ability to make abstract ideas into concrete plans.
So you seem confident and organized.
Right.
Got it. Okay, question 3. How do you balance aesthetics and functionality in your furniture designs? Isn't that the million-dollar question?
It is, and it's a trap.
Ah.
You can't just say both are important. You have to show it through your work.
So show, don't tell.
Exactly. Think about past projects. Where did you have to make tough choices? Maybe you sacrificed some visual flair to make it more comfortable or the other way around.
So if you designed a chair that looked amazing but wasn't comfy, talk about how you learned to prioritize user experience.
Right. Don't shy away from those challenges. It shows you can think critically and make informed decisions. You can even frame it as your design philosophy.
Yep.
Like, for me, function is paramount, but I always aim for visual appeal.
That makes you sound like a pro.
It does.
I'm feeling more confident already.
You're doing great. And remember, RoleCatcher's AI can give you feedback on your answers. It's like having a design mentor on call, helping you refine your approach and really shine in that interview. Feeling good, ready for more.
Absolutely. What's next on our list of real-world questions?
Let's talk about trends. Question 4 is, how do you stay up to date with trends and innovations in furniture design?
Ooh, yeah. You got to stay ahead of the curve.
Exactly. It's about showing your passion for always learning.
It's like fashion, right?
Right.
Styles are always changing. New materials pop up. You don't want to be designing rocking chairs when everyone wants minimalist sofas.
Right. The furniture world is always evolving. This is your chance to prove you're not just keeping up, you're actively looking for inspiration and knowledge.
So how do you do that?
Think about your resources. Do you read industry magazines like Furniture Today? Do you go to those big trade shows like Salone del Mobile in Milan?
Ooh, fancy.
Maybe you follow designers on social media.
Oh, yeah, good point. And mentioning specific trends you're excited about shows genuine interest, right?
Hmm.
Like maybe you're fascinated by biomimicry in furniture design, using nature to inspire forms and functions.
Perfect example. It shows you're not just following trends, but thinking about the bigger picture. And this ties into what the career guide says about professional development.
Right. Talks about workshops to learn new techniques, maybe even a master's degree, and joining organizations like the American Society of Furniture Designers. It's all about getting better.
Exactly. It shows commitment to growth and a desire to keep learning. Any employer would love that. Ready for something a bit more technical?
Hit me with it.
Question 5 gets into your hands-on experience. It asks, can you describe your experience with different types of materials and manufacturing processes?
Okay, so now we're getting into the nitty-gritty.
Right. This is where you show off what you know.
The career guide goes deep on this, talking about hardwoods, metals, plastics, even those experimental composites. It's about understanding what each material is good for and how that affects your design.
Exactly. It's not just picking a pretty finish, it's understanding why you'd use walnut over oak for a certain piece, or how the weight of metal changes a chair's design.
So you have to think like an engineer too.
You got it. And then there's the manufacturing process. That's a whole other world.
Oh yeah, the guide mentions everything from traditional joinery techniques to high-tech stuff like CNC milling, laser cutting, 3D printing.
Be ready to talk about your experience with these processes. What are their strengths and weaknesses? How do they affect your design choices?
It's about showing you understand the whole journey from idea to actual furniture. Okay, I'm ready for a challenge. Let's do a behavioral question.
You got it. Question 6. Can you discuss a particularly challenging design project you have worked on?
Time to show off those problem-solving skills.
This is where the STAR method shines. Situation, task, action, result.
Right. Tell a story that shows you can handle anything.
Maybe you had a crazy deadline, a demanding client, or some surprise technical problems. Whatever the challenge, focus on how you tackled it strategically.
Did you have to come up with a whole new design? Work closely with your team? Find creative solutions on the fly?
Right. It's about showing you don't fall apart under pressure. You adapt, you figure things out, and you deliver.
And don't forget the happy ending. Did you go above and beyond? Learn something valuable? End on a high note.
Exactly. Now let's talk about something that's becoming super important, sustainability. Question 7 asks, how do you incorporate sustainability and eco-friendliness into your designs?
So it's not just about caring about the environment, it's about actually doing something.
Right. It's about responsible design practices.
The guide talks about using recycled materials, low VOC, finishes, even designing furniture that's easy to take apart and fix, so it lasts longer and stays out of landfills.
Exactly. Don't just say you care. Show it. Give specific examples, like maybe you use bamboo instead of hardwood because it grows back fast. Or you designed a modular sofa that's easy to repair and reconfigure so it has a longer life.
It's thinking about the whole life of the piece, from materials to what happens to it in the end. Okay, hit me with the last question.
All right, last one. Can you discuss a project where you had to navigate conflicting design preferences from multiple stakeholders?
Ooh, the art of diplomacy.
Right. This is all about your communication, collaboration, and conflict resolution skills.
Real-world design is rarely just one person's vision. You're dealing with clients, manufacturers, maybe even other designers.
Exactly. You're finding that sweet spot where everyone feels heard and the final product works.
Okay, so think of a project where you had to do this. Maybe the client wanted minimalism, but the manufacturing process needed something that clashed with that.
How did you handle it? Did you use visuals to show different options? Did you talk things out to find common ground? Use your knowledge of materials to come up with new solutions?
It's about showing you're not just creative, but a good communicator and team player. You can deal with those tricky situations and still come up with a solution that works for everyone.
And even if it didn't go perfectly, talking about what you learned shows self-awareness and that you're always growing.
That's a good point. Before we go on, the guy mentioned something important, aligning your answers with your career stage.
Oh, yeah. Are you just starting out? Are you a seasoned pro? Your experience should reflect that.
That's where RoleCatcher's AI is amazing. It can analyze the job description and tell you exactly what skills and experience matter most for that specific role.
Exactly. So
Yeah,
you're not just giving generic answers, you're tailoring them for maximum impact.
that's like having your own career strategist.
Right. And don't forget to practice out loud. RoleCatcher's AI even lets you record yourself and get feedback. It's super helpful for perfecting your delivery.
Welcome back to our furniture designer interview prep deep dive.
I feel like we're ready to take on the world.
I think so too. We've covered so much from the ins and outs of the furniture world to tackling those tough interview questions. And don't forget, RoleCatcher's AI is there to help you polish your answers and get noticed.
Seriously, it's like having a career coach and a headhunter all in one way. But the guide's pretty honest. Breaking into this field can be competitive. What advice would you give to someone just starting out?
Your portfolio is key. It's like your visual resume, showing off your skills, creativity, and how you bring ideas to life. Think of it as your own design museum curated to highlight your unique style.
That makes sense, but what if you're fresh out of school and don't have many professional projects yet?
Don't let that stop you. This is where passion comes in. Take on personal projects that show off what you can do. Design a cool bookshelf for your apartment, or build some custom chairs for a friend. Volunteer your skills for a community center, or try some design competitions. It's all about showing initiative.
So just get out there and do something. Exactly. And the guide also talks about networking.
Yeah, going to events, joining organizations, connecting with established designers.
It's all part of building your design community. Networking is so important in any creative field, but especially in furniture design. It's how you learn from the best, get insights into trends, and maybe even find a mentor.
Find your people.
Exactly. Every experienced designer was once a beginner, and many are happy to share what they know.
And RoleCatcher can help with that too. Their platform lets you organize contacts and get discovered by employers based on your skills.
It's like your digital networking assistant.
I love it. Okay, so we've talked about skills portfolio networking, but before we wrap up, I want to bring up something from the guide that really stuck with me.
Oh, yeah.
It asks, imagine you land that dream job. What kind of impact do you want to make on the furniture world?
That's a powerful one. It makes you think bigger than just getting the job.
Right, what's your vision? Your purpose as a designer? What legacy do you want to leave?
Do you want to push the boundaries of design? Create sustainable pieces that set a new standard? Maybe you're passionate about making good furniture accessible to everyone, no matter their budget.
It's about defining your own design philosophy and using your talent to make a real difference. That's what makes this field so exciting. It's not just about pretty objects. It's about using design to solve problems, improve lives, and shape how we experience the world.
Well said. So as you get ready for that interview, let your passion shine through. Show them your knowledge, your skills, your unique vision, and your desire to make an impact. And don't forget, RoleCatcher is there to help you every step of the way.
They're like your secret weapon.
Exactly.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of furniture design. We hope you're feeling inspired, prepared, and ready to ace that interview.
Remember, with the right prep, a bit of creativity, and a little RoleCatcher magic, you've got this.
Until next time, happy designing.